Thank you so much
Yes.
for being here and making time for this.
Oh yeah, but really, I felt so well prepared and supported by you during the whole process that I thought, okay, let's do this.
You're a natural. You speak so well. I mean, no wonder you got 8 for speaking, like well deserved.
Yeah. Yes, yes. It went quite well, I must say, because I know that sometimes I say a lot when I speak, but during the exam I tried not to focus too much on it, and I think I didn't say it a lot, but
Was it your first attempt?
yes, it was
And you got it on your
actually.
first attempt. That's commendable. That's excellent. Really good outcome. So
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could ask you a little bit about your preparation. How long have you been preparing for IELTS before you actually went ahead and took it?
I think it was about 6 to 7 weeks. I think we registered for the exam mid of February and it took place on the 6th of April. And I tried to study every 3 days, depending on also how the day went, because I also work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so more or less,
Okay.
I would say 7 weeks.
And when you started preparing, what did you use? How did you start preparing? Did you have a plan?
I didn't really have a plan, but I immediately bought your book because I know myself and I prefer studying with paper-based material because I will not be distracted if I do it via an app or online. I know I might get distracted. And also, I feel like if I have a book, I can see exactly what I did. And that helps me if I do not have a plan. I just see, okay, I did the first test, now I'm going to do this. And then when I finish the book, I can start the next one.
That's
So
excellent. Yeah. And
that's what I did.
the exam that you took, was it paper-based or computer-based?
Yes, it was also paper-based. So it
So it
also
worked
helped for
well.
that.
Yeah. It worked well for you that you were preparing for the same type of the exam that you took eventually.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So in your preparation, what did you do? What did your study session look like? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I tried to do it, as I mentioned, more or less every 3 days. And then when the date of the exam was approaching, I tried to do something every other day. And I tried to take as much time as possible, but it was also dependent on the time of day. So when I studied in the morning, I could take maybe an hour or an hour and a half before work. And then I really tried to practice the writing because that was when I really needed my brain to be fresh.
Yes.
So for the writing, I tried to do it mostly in the mornings, and then I just did the exercises from your book. And when I wasn't happy with my result, maybe at the end I would search for some vocabulary. I had a vocabulary list that I took throughout the whole preparation process. So whenever I saw a word in the reading examples, for example, that I didn't know, or I knew the meaning because I could tell from
Yeah,
from
you
reading the
can
whole
work it
text.
out.
But I wrote it down. I wanted to know the exact meaning. And also when there were phrases, just like to nip something in the bud, for example, that I
Yeah.
didn't know before. It was clear to me, but I thought, okay, let me write it down so I can have a look at this list every other day, maybe. And then I can use those words and memorize them and use them for my own texts or for my speaking. So that's something that I did. And then, yeah, when I studied after work, I was pretty tired most of the time. So then I would only take an hour, I think. And I tried to do the reading or the listening, mostly the listening because that was quite quick because
Yes,
it had
they
a
are quick.
fixed time range. So that was quite helpful. So yeah, I did this kind of vocabulary list. Um, Also, your book helped me to get an idea about the topics that could be asked in the exam. So for the speaking, I didn't practice a lot of speaking, but I prepared answers to certain questions, just as are you a student or do you work? Where do you live? How do you live in an apartment or in a house? What does it look like? How is your city? Is it old? Is it new? What is a famous building? How did you grow up? Stuff like this. So I thought, okay, if I have good answers for this and I can I can say those things naturally, I can use them for probably different kind of questions.
Yes, yes, that's an excellent idea. You worked on topic areas and you were ready for a wide range of topic areas. Excellent. That's really good. Can I ask you if you used the other book, Ace the IELTS, the book with strategies and techniques?
Yes, I did, but situationally. So sometimes when I was doing the writing and I felt like this didn't turn out well, then I would read that part. Or for the reading, for example, it was very useful. I also told my boyfriend to know, because I didn't do that right from the beginning. I didn't know that the words in the text have to be the exact same tense, the exact same form as in the answers. And that was a common mistake that we did at the beginning when we started practicing.
You were
Because we
changing
started together.
words.
Exactly. We were changing words, or we thought, why is this wrong? It has to be right. Yeah, that helped a lot to really make sure you get the right answer, because I knew from the beginning, I know I will understand what will be said in the listening, or I will understand what I will read, but then giving the right answer is still a different story.
Yes, I know what you mean. That's so true. So tell me, what made you purchase my book? How did you come to that decision?
Yeah, as I said, I knew I wanted something tangible. I wanted something offline.
Yeah,
and
but
then
why my books?
I found it on Amazon and it had good results. I liked that it has the same structure as the real exam. So that really, that really kind of, I thought, okay, that might prepare me the best way. It was the book that only had good reviews. So I thought, yeah, I would buy the first one, and then that was really good already.
Also, I'm so glad you had that positive experience. That's really good. That's really good to hear. So, as a result of using these books, how did you change what you were doing before to something that you started doing after?
What really helped me was to see how the assignments are, because yeah, it was really great to see, for example, there might be questions where you have to say yes, yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. So I started to focus more on the way the assignment is.
Yeah, on the instructions, yes.
Yes, the instructions. I must say I never really studied keeping my time. I don't know. Maybe I should have done that more, because in the exam, it was the first time that I struggled with the writing. The assignment was much easier than in all of the practices. But in the end, I wanted to change things, and I realized, oh, I only have 5 minutes left. Maybe that's something I should have done at least a few times.
Yeah, that's important. Time management is really important in IELTS because it's very time intensive, and having good time management really helps you have enough time for everything so that you can do everything perfectly, or as close to perfect as you can. That's so true. Would you say that your preparation method worked out for you?
Yes, I would say it did, because I was required to get a band score 6. My aim was a 7 and I got an 8, so it did.
You got an 8. Not only did you get an 8, you got 9 in listening, which is quite amazing, may I say. Yeah. And you also got very good scores for reading and speaking, band 8 both, and you're writing 7.5, and it's your first attempt. Well done. Really happy for you, and you're probably very proud of yourself as well.
Yes, I'm very proud, and also very relieved that it went so well.
I was going to ask, how did you feel after taking the test, after it was over?
Yeah, I was super relieved. I already, after handing in each of the parts, I felt it was much easier than in the books. So your books are a really good preparation, I feel, because when I listened, it was easier to understand, and also the reading part was, I didn't feel like I was struggling. So yeah, when I did the writing, I realized I was having some problems with the time, and also the first time that I had problems with the word count. I never had that when I practiced. I don't know. And I thought that the assignment was easier than in the practices, but somehow maybe it was being a little nervous, or
It was probably the nerves. Yeah, that it's a stressful event, whichever way you look at it. So yeah, our brain works different when we're under stress.
yeah.
But considering the circumstances, you still did a fantastic job.
Yes, and then when this was over and I was waiting for my speaking, I already felt quite relaxed, and I thought, if this goes even a little worse than the rest, it will probably be fine. And then I felt during the speaking test, I also felt like it was going quite well.
That's fantastic. So now that you've got your IELTS score, what does it allow you to do?
Well, first of all, it's great because this way I can prove my level of English, because I always say that I have a good level of English, but now I have a real proof. I did take English at school, of course, but that's more than 10 years ago. So it's good to have a recent proof. And the main reason why I took the exam was that my boyfriend wants to apply for a migration visa for Australia. And if his partner has I think, I don't even know, I think it's competent English, so that's 6. Yeah, he will get more points. So
so I think you'll get a lot of points, especially with your score.
Yes, but I think for the partner it doesn't make a difference, but still it's good that it's more than just competent English.
That's fantastic. I'm really happy that you had this great result. Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here and talking to me. I enjoyed it so much. You're a lovely, lovely person. I was really pleased to meet you. When you get to Australia, we'll do this face to face.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
I would love that. I would love to meet you and your boyfriend in person and maybe show you around if you get to Melbourne.
We have to, because I still haven't seen Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, you absolutely have to. It's big, it's huge, but it doesn't feel like that. It's very cozy and homey, and I love it because of that. You'll find that the streets are lined with trees, and it's so spacious and it's green and it has this nice feel to it. I'm sure you'll love it. All right. I think it's time for me to let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed meeting you, talking to you. Let's stay in touch. I hope we can stay in touch. All right. Very nice meeting you, Sarah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.